right, guys. First of all, for those of you that don't know me, I've been doing this for 21 years now. Managed to sell over 5,000 homes with my team. I've had a team for 18 years of those 21 years. And we've had a good run. We started our career over at Royal LePage and then did that for a while. And then finally at one point decided we wanted to open our own brokerage. So then decided to do that. Did that for about 10 years. And then EXP came along. And then 4.5 years ago, we took a look at the EXP model and just made more sense for us. And we decided to do it. And now today we get to partner with all kinds of amazing people. Steve and Tarek, who run the Northern Alliance Group, have created this training call for us every Friday afternoon, which is amazing. Every Friday at 2 o'clock, we get together and somebody else within our group, with the Northern Alliance Group, shares, who has all kinds of knowledge, and I've been learning a lot from it. So hopefully you guys will learn a little something from me. All right, guys. First thing, we're going to talk about the top 15 strategies to generate new clients. This is probably the number one question I get all the time is, what do I do for new business? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you guys the stuff that I've done. What you're using might work better. I've been doing this for 21 years. So some of the things that I've done over the years are maybe a little bit different than what people are doing today. But I'm going to show you a combination of all the things that created 5,000 homes that we've sold. So obviously some of this stuff has worked. Some stuff worked better. Yes, absolutely. But I'm going to show you what I've done. And the first one we're going to start with is we're going to build a strong online presence first. So with online, this is probably, I'm going to say, my weakest point. But now since December, we've hired a new marketing company. And what we're doing is we're really changing our focus and we're going to start doing more of it. We're obviously going to put ourselves out there to try to create as much presence as we can. All right. Back in my day, online presence meant newspapers and billboards and bench signs, right? And I'm not going to say that they don't work either, because, you know, we're doing those again as well. But your online presence, guys, is going to be so important. And we try to teach people how to have 7 or 8 pillars to grow their business. And the reason for that is you can't just do one thing. You have to have multiple streams coming in. If you're just doing 1 or 2 things and one of those things happens to die and not work for you, then you're completely out of luck. But if you have 7 or 8 different pillars coming in all the time, you're going to be flooded with business. You're going to create an ongoing pipeline and things are going to keep working. So first thing I'm going to say is build an online presence. If you guys want to know what we're doing on Wednesday afternoons at noon, we've been doing some training on that stuff. And I think that that's important. And that's a whole course in itself. But I think that that's the one thing that you have to start doing. Now, develop a referral network. I'm going to tell you that this is probably one of the best things that I've ever done, is to create a referral network. Now, how do we create a referral network? And I want this to be interactive, guys. So if you guys have some suggestions or whatever, just throw it out there. Don't even wait. Don't put your hand up. Just throw it a suggestion or whatever. But some of the things that I did was, because at Kingston, we have a military base here. What I used to do is I used to contact all the top agents in all the cities. So I got a list of every single city that had a military base. And then I would contact every single top agent in that city and I would create a relationship with them. We even went as far as creating a network of the top 2 agents in each city. And then we created a network where we were just sending each other referrals all the time. But back then we had to send letters, we had to pick up the phone. Now you have social media. There's nothing that says that you can't go on there and pick. Brandon and I just had this conversation today where go and become friends with these guys on social media, like their stuff, create conversations, become friends with these other agents. And then, you know what? Offer them something. Don't ask. You don't have to ask all the time, but offer them something. Call them up, say, hey, I would love to send you some referrals for your area. You know, what do you specialize in? What do you like to do? Are you interested in some referrals? You don't have to ask. If you offer, they'll just want to give it back to you. It's no different than creating a referral network with mortgage brokers, right? When you're creating a network with referral for them, it's hard. Like for me, I had somebody who kept sending me business. It was impossible for me to not send her business. You know that relationship lasted 17 years until she got out of the business. I used the same mortgage person for 17 years and I just could not give her business because she was just so loyal to me and giving me business all the time that I felt obligated. So it's the same thing with other realtors, right? So you can do that. Home inspectors, get to know a bunch of different home inspectors, right? Be friends with them. Take them out for breakfast. Take them out for lunch. Have that network because they're running into people all the time that are looking for real estate agents. And then even contractors, right? If you know any local contractors or different people that you can create networks with that, you know, will generate business for you. Like we have a couple of contractors that we refer out all the time. And then guess what? When they want to buy stuff, or when they have friends that want to buy stuff, guess who they send them to? They send them to us, right? Does anybody else have any suggestions on referral networks, like different places that you can get referral networks? Just yell it out.
Find a community like a church or like a mosque or whatever like you're into. So that would be nice.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, another referral network is past clients. Like if you have somebody that you've already done business with and they like you, ask them for referrals. Consistently ask them for referrals. Stay in touch with them 3 or 4 times a year. Have a conversation. And who do you know that's looking to move? Do you know anybody? Have you heard of anybody that in your area is looking to move? I got all kinds of people looking for your neighborhood. People love your neighborhood. Do you know anybody that's looking to move? They might say eventually, hey, we're thinking about moving. The whole idea is you've got to stay top of mind with these people so that when they think about real estate, they think about you. And if you're not staying in touch with them, then you know what? Poor Brandon. Brandon's going to get some credits here today, but he has been in the business just over a year and he has managed to create a huge referral network. I know he said this morning he went out and met with an insurance guy he used to play hockey with, met with him through an insurance guy. And guess what? He's creating a network of other professionals. And how can we help each other grow each other's business? Because I'm sure the insurance guy wants to know what Brandon's doing. Brandon wants to know what he's doing. But at the end of the day, they're going to probably help each other out at some point. Make sense? Networking events. Okay. If you're not attending events, you need to be attending events. You need to be going to as much stuff as you can do. Like home shows, if you ever go to a home show, you got to be somewhere where you're seeing people, you're meeting people, talking to people. Wedding shows, Brandon just did a wedding show as well, which I think he got a ton of leads out of. Home shows are always really good because you know what? People love to talk about real estate. They really do. You ever go to a party and you start talking to people and you say, there's another place to network, by the way. If you're at a party or at a bar, or like I know TJ, she says that she's really good, you know, at her local bar when they're watching their football games, right? Everybody knows she's a realtor, right? Because she's outgoing and she can talk to people and whatever. But one of the questions you want to ask them guys is, hey, what do you do? What do you do for a living? Well, you know what? I'm a plumber. I'm an electrician. I'm a lawyer. Oh yeah. Next question they're going to say is, well, what do you do? And as soon as you tell them real estate, it's game over. Everybody wants to talk about real estate, right? But be ready for it. Because the first question they're going to ask you is, what's the market doing? What are interest rates doing? So if you don't have an answer and you look like an idiot, they're not going to trust you. And they're not going to think that, you know, this person is really a professional. So make sure you have the answers to those questions before you start the conversation. Anybody got any other ideas for networking events? We just did one. I just did one with Mark Papineau. We went to Toronto. It was an investors event, which was really cool. It was a whole bunch of investors that were in this event, and there's probably 500 people there, and great conversations, right? Not only that I have conversations with other investors, I had conversations with other people in different booths that were there promoting their companies. And now all of a sudden I'm networking with those guys and we're having conversations with them about some other real estate opportunities. So you just never know where it's going to come from those events. Okay. Offer free educational resources. Blogs. If you're not doing blogs, guys, blogs have gotten really easy to do. If you guys aren't using AI, you got to start learning how to use AI. There's all kinds of training on AI right now, but you can create a blog on AI so fast. You can create all kinds of information on AI for presentations, different things. Just tell it what to do and it will do it for you, and it'll come up with the content and you can just repurpose it. But you know what? You can also do, you know, like videos and webinars, you know, real estate market, you know, share information within the market, right? What is your monthly updates? People need to know that you're in real estate and they want to know that you're the expert, because if they think that you're the expert and you have all the information, then guess who they're going to call when they need something real estate related? Hey, I want to welcome Emil to the call. Welcome aboard DXP, buddy. I just saw you there. Emil's a great guy. He's doing great things, and we're looking forward to working with him. He's going to be a lot of fun. Like, if you want to do some educational videos, like, okay, first of all, things you need to know before moving to, you know, my situation, Kingston. What are the top 10 things? What are the top 10 reasons you should move to Kingston? Neighborhood specific videos. So our team and I are going to be doing some of this here in the next little while. One of our good friends, Mark Strachan, is going to basically interview different agents for different neighborhoods within our entire community. And then we're going to take all those videos, we're going to edit them, we're going to make them look real good, and we're going to put them on our YouTube channel. And then when people go to our website and they click on a certain neighborhood, these videos are going to pop up for those areas. So we're going to get, you know, more views on YouTube, but it's also going to create a lot of traffic for the website as well. So you can talk about the different neighborhoods that you like, right? Your market updates. What does, you know, $500,000 get you in Arizona? And then maybe cover 4 or 5 different houses or different communities that, you know, you could get those houses. And you can do all this with your phone, guys. I mean, it's so simple. I'm finding my phone does better video than what my video guy's been doing with his camera. For some reason, it's just higher def. I don't know what the deal is, but it's looking pretty good. Top 5 things you need to know before buying your first home. Okay, so that obviously now you're going to be targeting the first-time home buyers, right? Do a home buyer seminar. One of our agents last night did a first-time home buyer seminar. It was really good. good. Now, business promos. We've done a lot of these where we're going in and we're actually interviewing businesses and promoting the business. We're not promoting ourselves. We're going in and we're promoting local businesses to show people what's going on. So if you go out and you shoot 10 or 15 videos, like, the top 3 restaurants in Goodyear, Arizona, or whatever, different businesses that people would search online, then your stuff is going to get traction and it's going to help you get more views. And then again, you become the expert in your neighborhood. My son, Pat, does this a lot. When he's interviewing businesses, he'll do giveaways and he'll say, listen, we're going to do a giveaway. Anybody who likes and shares this post, we're going to do a $100 gift card. And then what he does with the business is he tells them that they're going to do that. 9 out of 10 times, the business gives him the gift card. He doesn't even buy it. So that's pretty cool. And then what you do is you share it with them. They just did a big campaign where Pat went around and they did a whole bunch of stuff before Christmas, giveaways and everything else. And some of the videos were getting like 17,000 views on them. That's good exposure, right? But everybody's sharing it within. And so now you're using that business as network as well. What are the top 5 rated schools? So guess what? When somebody's moving to Montreal and they're coming from Alberta, what are they going to do? They're going to look up school districts. They're going to look up rankings. They're going to look up all that stuff. So guess what? If you pop up on YouTube and you have the top 5 ranked schools right there, and you're maybe even doing some videos of the school, maybe interviewing a couple of the teachers and why they like the school, things like that. Now, what those people are obviously going to be looking for a house too, and now you're going to be the expert. What are the pros and cons of living in your city? Renting versus buying, which is cheaper? You can do little breakdowns. People are looking for this stuff, guys. And YouTube is killing it right now. But the thing is, you can do a long video and then you can take short clips off of that video and you can use it on all these other platforms as well. My number one favorite, I'm going to tell you, I built pretty much my entire career on open houses. Open houses work. TJ is a perfect example here. Tamara, it says Tamara on her thing, but she goes by TJ. You know what? Brandon and I were in Arizona last winter in October, and we were checking out open houses in our neighborhood just to see what things were worth and things like that. Because we were thinking about maybe selling one of our properties, and we're walking through, and some of these agents were just deadbeats. It was god awful. And then we walk in, and there's TJ, and she is bubbly. She's on it. She meets us at the door. She gives us, brochures. We go over the table. The table is full of goodies. She's got popcorn. She's got every little thing you could think of. I mean, I remember taking a picture of it. And when we left the house, Brandon and I were like, oh my God, she is on the ball. She is prepared. Some people, we showed up at the open houses. The agent showed up after we did. The door was open. We walk in. The agent comes flying in. Oh my God, I'm late. And, they're not prepared. They have nothing to give you. They didn't even talk to us. It was just awful. Now, it worked for TJ because we ended up listing our house with her. And then she joined us at EXP, which was even better. Right? So you guys looking for a house in Arizona, she's amazing. But they do work, guys, because when people are coming there, I'm going to tell you something. People aren't coming around to kick tires anymore at open houses, because by the time they get to the open house, they've seen the pictures online. They've seen the video tour. They've seen everything. Guess what? When they come to the house, they're coming to touch it and feel it. And now they're serious. And not only that, you might have neighbors coming around. So make sure you're asking the right questions when people are coming through the open houses. Are you from the neighborhood? Are you looking to see what your house is worth? Boom. Because then that way that leads you into getting into the door and hopefully sell their house and give them an idea of what their house is worth. Because a lot of times that's what they're doing. That's what I was doing. And somehow TJ ended up getting me to list my house. I was curious as to what it was worth. And now all of a sudden we've got our house listed. Hand deliver invites to the neighborhood. So have handouts at the house, of course, have stuff, to give out. Branding stuff is really good. She had all kinds of neat little things that she was giving out. So that's awesome. But it's okay to go down the street, go 20 houses down each way, hand out a flyer, knock on somebody's door and say, hey, we're having an open house. If you happen to know anybody, if you have any friends or relatives that are looking to move to the area, we would love for you to share this with them. Okay. Because obviously they're not looking to move 5 doors down, but the other thing it's doing is it's showing that you are being kind of outgoing, you're really working hard. So then when they go to sell their house, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go, hey, remember that Pierre Nadeau? Guy came to our house. He was really polite, really nice. And he was working real hard to sell that house. And remember when we saw the cars in front of that place? I mean, that guy was killing it. Why don't we call him? Because most agents don't do that. So if you want to stand out, you got to do things that other people aren't willing to do. Promote on social media. Obviously, the faster you can get it out on social media, the better. We have a thing where we try to put our signs out on Wednesdays or Thursdays for an open house on the weekend, because all our signs have our pictures on them and it's branding and it's people seeing it. And hopefully they see the traffic, they drive by, they say, okay, hey, there's an open house here Sunday. And then that way, the signs serve 2 purposes. One, to help you get more people there on the weekend, but also it's branding. Right? So if your signs have your pictures on them, then guess what? Now all of a sudden people are going to see you. Another cool thing to have, and you got to be careful with this, because if your client walks in and sees you promoting other properties, they're not going to be overly impressed, but you need to have in your briefcase, like I wouldn't have them out on the table because that's not fair to my seller, but I would have them in my briefcase. What are the comparable homes in the area, right? Have the listings for them. And then if they're not interested in your house, because you should be asking lead questions like, are you looking for the neighborhood? What size are you looking for? And then eventually you should be able to find out what they want. And if that's not what they want, then you're okay to introduce them to other stuff. Hey, did you see this one on 123 Main Street? And then now you can book an appointment to show them a property.
Hey,
all right.
Pierre,
Yeah.
just to follow up on open houses, as you know, I'm not a door knocker. And I dread, going up and down the neighborhood handing out flyers, but I will do it for my open houses. And my approach to it when I talk to people and give them a flyer and let them know I'm doing an open house is I approach it as, hey, I have this listing down the street. Just wanted to let you know I'm doing an open house. So if you see any additional traffic in the area, that's what's going on. So it makes them feel, I tell them that because then they think I'm giving them some valuable information, as they see all these cars in the neighborhood. I'm doing something different for the first time this weekend. I know, Pierre, you've probably seen me all week just throwing it on my Facebook and everything, but I partnered up with one of my title companies and we're doing a neighborhood open house. There's 12 houses in the neighborhood and 7 of them have agreed to all do a joint open house tour. So they go to the first house, they get a card, they go to all 7 houses, come back and put their raffle if they went to all 6 to win a prize. But I've never done that before, so I'm really excited about it. And if they
That's
don't
awesome.
get my house, they get to see 6 others. But just trying to do something just a little bit different open house wise. And those are just a couple ideas that you guys might, if you're not getting any activity on your open houses, which sometimes you don't, getting together with other people that have listings in the same area and all doing a joint open house we'll see how it goes, but I'm excited.
You know what? It's a great idea because, you're collaborating with other agents, right? You're all promoting each other. And if you do it right and you all share it within your social media platforms, then that will create even more traffic for that as well. That's a fantastic idea. All right, number 6, guys, collaborate with other local businesses, which is I kind of touched on that already. Moving companies, home staging services, cross promote each other. That's the biggest thing is use their network and they'll use your network. So obviously you're trying to give to them and you're going to end up getting back from it. But we kind of already covered this one. Use the gift card promo idea. Leverage online advertising, Google ads, Facebook ads. So if you want to spend some money, you can get into paid leads. And, we all know there's all kinds of companies out there with us at EXP. And I know there's some people on here that aren't with EXP, but I know a lot of people are using KV Core. So KV Core had the thing called Make It Rain. So if you want to just pay and drop $200, $500 a month or whatever, they'll generate the ads for you and do it. Now with KV Core as well, we have training on that so that if you do want it, reach out to me. We've got about 12 or 13 videos on how to generate generic leads as well. So you can do that. It just takes a little bit more work. So if you've got the time, you can do it. And that way you don't have to pay for them. There's other companies, right? Like Sync, there's a bunch of companies out there, guys, that you can get leads from, but you can also run Facebook ads and things like that and Google ads. So just depends on what your budget is, but that's another way of generating business. Now, I am going to tell you this. When you get a lead, remember this, speed to lead. If you don't call that lead back within the first 5 minutes, you're done. No word of a lie. Yesterday morning, I got a lead as I was getting out of the shower. My phone dinged. I'm butt naked. I called the lead back. My wife says, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, "I just called a lead and I just got a listing appointment." Okay. And I'm seeing them on Monday. It's a race, guys, because I'll tell you what happens is when they fill out these forms, you're not the only one they're shopping with. They're shopping with other people. And I can't remember what the stat is. Maybe Steve knows it, but the stat is really high of the percentage of people that, will list with the first person that they talk to. In this particular situation, it was a divorce. He just said, "Yeah, we need to sell the house and can you come out and have a look at it?" I'm like, "Yep, absolutely." So just make sure that you get to the leads fast, guys, because especially if you're paying for leads, you're wasting your money. If you call them 2 days later, they're not on their computer. They probably won't even remember that they were filling something out. The whole idea is to get them while they're right in front of you. Email marketing. Anybody using email marketing? It seems to be coming back and becoming a lot bigger. But again, your database, like again with us with KV Core, you have your database right there. You can send out mass emails. Why not send, updates on things that are going on in the area? Why not send, hey, here's the top 10 events going on in the month of November for, Montreal. And they could be concerts, they could be different things, right? Like cultural things that are happening. And also market reports. And I'll tell you to take it another step further. If you insert video in your mass emails and it's a video of you talking to them and just saying, hey, here's the market update, and it could be 20 seconds, guys. Just wanted to keep you up to speed on what's going on in the market in your neighborhood. Boom. That's it. Okay. Video works. Video works very, very well. So if you can add video to your mass emails, it's going to change a lot of stuff. Okay. Also, if you have listings that you have, every month, you can say, here's my top 3 picks. Tamara's top 3 picks, Trevor's, top 5, and maybe do one, under 500 category, one from the 500 to 7, one to 7 to 9, and then over the $1 million range, and send them different types of properties, top condo. And then if you do that, then people, again, you're staying top of mind with your database. All right.
Can I add something to that here?
Yeah, man.
One thing that people really never think about is that, and this happens as you're in real estate year over year over year, let's say you're 10, 12 years in the business. Sometimes people forget who you are if you don't keep in contact with them. And sometimes they forget your face. So if you can send video content even once a month to your database, whether it's a market update, a new listing that you have, a market snapshot of their area, put in a link and then you send it to your database, they'll remember your face. That's extremely powerful.
Yeah. When I was doing coaching over at Craig Proctor, we were talking about how many touches a year, right? And it was ridiculous. I mean, they were saying I think it was like 30 touches a year that you're supposed to have with your clients. I thought that was excessive, but I will say that once a month, because I think if you do it too much, I think people are just going to unsubscribe. But if you're doing once a month and you're giving something of value, people will look at it. I think it's a great idea. And again, just staying top of mind. All right, free home evaluations. Let people know that you're available to do a home evaluation. You wouldn't believe how many people call me and say, hey, what would you charge me to do a home evaluation? Like, you know what? I'm not going to charge you anything. I'm just going to hope that, we have a good connection. And if you like me and I like you, maybe we can do some business someday. And that gets your foot in the door. But let people know, right? Don't be afraid to go online and shoot a video about, hey, you wondering what your home's worth? No, I do. So why don't you let me come in, show you what your home is worth? No obligation. And that's it. But that gives you the opportunity to get your foot in the door, do a listing presentation, show them what you're all about, and if they decide to list, then hopefully they list with you. But at that point, you've got to be able to sell them, right? You've all heard the saying, list to live, and I'm gonna tell you, I've been a lister my entire career, and the last 2 years, I have not done a lot of selling for a reason, because we were growing our organization. But now that we're at about 800 agents, we've decided to, since basically December, to get back into doing a little bit of selling. And I'll tell you what, all the stuff that I'm telling you, I'm implementing, and we got 3 new listings hitting the market today. It's working, guys. It's just working. I love it. I'm excited about it. So I have no problems teaching you guys on how to do it because I know it works. Community events, sports teams. Again, this is what worked for me, guys. I sponsored a ton of sports teams, hockey teams, soccer teams, girls, boys, everything. Men's hockey leagues. We put our name on a lot of stuff and it worked. Also, our kids played sports. You know what? When you sponsor those teams and you give back and you put on events and you do things, people will remember that. I talked to an agent yesterday that I've known since I started, Rich Lakins, great guy. And our kids both played hockey. And we were just talking yesterday about how much money we have made just from our kids playing hockey, from the network that we created with the other families and by sponsoring teams. It's crazy. You could be doing some volunteer stuff, any charity stuff, church stuff, right? If you got church organizations that you're part of. If you're a giver, your mentality has to change to, I'm not going in because I want to get something, but if you give to people, they're going to give back just out of kindness. What does your brand look like? I'm going to tell you something, that your brand is everything. And it's not Remax. It's not Royal LePage. It's not Keller Williams. It's not EXP. It's Emil Musa. It's Steve Alexopoulos. Okay. It's Trevor Tompkins. That is your brand. So make sure that when you're doing your branding stuff, that you can take that brand wherever you go. Okay. So if you change companies, because we all know what happens, guys, we've all made changes. I've made 3 changes over my career, but I will tell you this, when I had my own brokerage, I had my brand. When I moved to EXP, my brand never changed. It stayed the same. Okay. Other than adding a little logo at the bottom corner. And that should be the same for anybody. So if you're going to run purple signs, keep the purple signs, keep running it forever, and just change your logo if you change companies, all right? But make sure that your signage, your business cards, your online profiles, everything is consistent so that people know your brand. I know Steven Terex, Metro City, like they've got that thing plastered all over the place. You know exactly who they are. When I say to people, hey, do you guys know these guys in Ottawa? Everybody knows who they are because they've been very good at branding. All right, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do well at this one. I do know a lot of people that do very, very well with Google reviews. And we just started doing it, and it's because I've been told that I need to do it. But Google reviews apparently work very, very, very well. Has anybody here had good success with Google reviews? Yeah, Emil, you want to talk about it?
Good success for me. Every time I've asked, they've given me a Google review, but I just recently started. So, I mean, but yeah, they do it once I ask.
Yeah, good. It's important, guys. So what I'm finding out from the marketing company that I'm dealing with right now, what they've told me is that you've got to do a little bit of everything, right? You can't just do one thing and expect massive results. So what we've done now is we're getting into doing all the different platforms, doing the Google reviews, doing the Google pay-per-click ads, doing all this stuff so that it all interconnects and then brings our rankings up so that when people are looking for agents, and doing the YouTube as well at the same time. Last one, guys, but I think probably the most important one. When you're doing work for somebody, have some pride in what you're doing. Make sure that you are doing the best you possibly can to help that person and not just to get a commission check. Because I'm going to tell you this, right? I was on a call with Steve earlier today with an agent who's been in the business for 9 years, and it really stuck with me what this guy said. He said for the longest time, he was chasing the dollar. He had a board, and on the board, it wasn't even showing people's names. It was showing the dollar amount that was attached to the deal that he was doing with the name, right? And he said, people were telling me that I was a little too intense because they could, and I'm like, yeah, they can read it. If you're just chasing the commission check and they don't feel like you're looking after their best interest, they're going to sense it. And if you're desperate, they're going to sense it. Okay. So not only that, but then people will start doing things for the wrong reason, right? If you're just chasing that check and you're not really looking after your client, you may try to sell them something that you deep down inside know that it's not for them. So all I'm going to say is do the right thing. And I'll tell you why you do the right thing. Because when you do the right thing, you're going to get blessed tenfold. You're going to make sure that those people are looked after and they're trusting you with one of the biggest investments that they've ever made in their lives. And if you do a good job, you'll never have to worry about the other 14 things I just told you about, guys, because you will get so many referrals. People will tell people about you because you've done a good job. And that's all you can ask for. And the harder you work and the more they trust you, the more business they will send you. I guarantee it, guys. I've been doing this a long time. And I'll tell you what, when I do a good job, I hear about it and I constantly get people referred to me. I'm going to say after about the 5th year in business, because I worked so hard and I put so much effort into my business that people saw that and they just referred me to people constantly. And you know what? I had to do less and less of the other stuff and it just worked out. So, and today I still get referrals. Now, the last couple of years, everybody thought I was retired living in Arizona for the winter. So we had to change that a bit this year, but now we're back at it, guys. So anyways, guys, those were my top 15 steps that I've used over the years. Hopefully this helped you a little bit. Maybe it was just a reminder. Like I said, when Steve did his coaching last week or the week before, I mean, I was sitting there going, oh yeah, man, I forgot about that. That's a great reminder. Geez, I'm going to use that line next time, right? So we all need a little reminder sometimes on some of the little things that we need to do. But at the end of the day, guys, I can tell you how to do all this stuff, but if you don't go out and do the work, it doesn't matter. You got to do the work. You got to put in the effort. You got to make the phone calls. You got to get out there and talk to people. You got to do the event. If you don't like going door to door and meeting people, that's okay. Get doing some videos, right? Create some attraction, attract people to you. And the more you do, the more you're going to get, right? And we always used to coach at Proctor when we were coaching there. We always said you had to have 7 or 8 good pillars. So what I'm going to say is take 2 or 3 of these pillars that you just learned, go and implement them. Once you've got those mastered, then go start another 2. Don't do 7 all at once. Master a few first and then move on to the next one. But within a couple of years, you should have 7 to 8 pillars of streams of income and leads that are coming in so that you have a consistent pipeline and build your database up to a point. Your database is your bank account, guys. You got to make sure that you stay on top of your database and you maintain that thing all the time. You should be spending time in your database every single day. The bigger your database is, the better you look after it, the more it's going to grow, the more money that's going to flow in. And it's just like pumping the old pumps, and you're pumping the water, pumping and pumping, nothing's coming out. And all of a sudden it just starts to flow and flow and flow and it doesn't stop. Trust me, if you do that long enough, it will continue to flow.
And also, I was wondering if you'd be able to share the deck, the presentation.
Yeah, sure.
Can you hear me?
I could. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I heard you. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll send it over to you. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
So we're going to
Thank you.
have all the recordings on our website coming up soon. So every single training that we've done is going to be going on that, and there's going to be a recording of it, which is, in my opinion, awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Steve, for putting all this together. You guys have done a great job, and I'm really excited about. There's 6 or 7 of us that are going to be sharing, so that you guys won't be stuck hearing the same person every week. But I know that these guys are going to bring some huge value, and I'm looking forward to it and sharing it with our entire organization. And anyways, if you guys ever need anything, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. And if you need a coaching call or anything like that, just jump into my calendar and or text me and or message me. Okay, guys. All right.
Thanks a lot.
Steve.
Thanks, Pierre.
Thank you.
Thank you.